right. She does love you. What's the matter with you? 5 minutes after 10 o'clock, Kelli Hart is in the studio, and the weather couldn't be any more beautiful. And as Mother's Day approaches us, happy Mother's Day, Kelli.
Hey, thank you very much.
How are you?
I'm fantastic. Thank you.
It's just a wonderful. I mean, the weekend is going to be just like today.
It's great. This is perfect.
So you're going to spend time. You are a mom. You have a mom. I mean, it's a perfect weekend.
It is a perfect weekend. Yeah. So I know that we're going to spend Sunday evening at Symphony Under the Stars, because that's become a tradition for all of us.
I like what the way the paper called it, Ocala's biggest picnic or something like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. Well, and it is just a great community event. I mean, it's something that any age, any body, any person. And yesterday, when Miss Sheely dropped off our tickets, Linda asked her, what things will Matt be playing? And because it's their 50th anniversary, they're going to go through a series of timeless music. She mentioned the Beatles, so that right there makes me a happy lady, and some others. So it'll be a great evening. So if you have not gotten your tickets, please go to fafo.org and get your tickets. Because it's a great event. I mean, if you haven't been before, this would be the year to start that tradition with your mom.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's fantastic.
It's a really good event.
Yeah, and I may go to Adina on Sunday morning. They're having a Mother's Day brunch there.
Oh, really?
So I may check that out with Lily if we decide that we want to wake up and
that'd be sweet.
And go and do something like that. So that would be a lot of fun. And then she's got some little something planned for me for tomorrow, and I'm not exactly sure, but
it's a secret.
It's kind of a secret. She's gotten with her dad, and they've coordinated something, and I guess I'll find out later today. So
that's extra sweet.
Pretty,
I mean, the fact that you are divorced and your daughter's father is helping her with her mother. That's awesome.
Oh, sure.
That's the way it should be. That's the way divorce should be.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. So she's excited. So I don't know what they have planned, but whatever it is, I'm sure it'll be amazing.
Well, that's nice.
Because she's excited about it. So
what Beatles song do you hope to hear?
Well, Yesterday is my favorite. That's my favorite song ever.
Which works very well with orchestras.
Yes, it'd be fantastic. Song, yeah, it's a gorgeous song. So, it's probably not one of everybody's favorite Beatles songs. I mean, there's so many, and Yesterday is kind of a mellow, somber song, but to me it's beautiful. I mean, the lyrics are gorgeous, and so if I hear that one, great, and if
George
not,
Martin's
I'll be happy with anything.
String arrangement probably would work well with an orchestra.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard Symphonic Stones or anything like a symphony orchestra? Symphonic Stones was when the London Symphony Orchestra, I think, did a whole collection of Rolling Stones songs, and you wouldn't think any of their songs would sound good as an orchestra piece, but they all do.
They're pretty magnificent.
It's unbelievable. Ruby Tuesday as an orchestra piece?
I've got some amazing vinyls. Ever since I've really started getting into the orchestra, being friends with Matt, I went to, it was some consignment store or antique shop, and they just had this box of those very types of vinyls, and they were just songs that were played and performed by symphonies around the world.
Isn't that amazing?
I thought, I'm gonna pick these up and take them home, and I was really blown away by how a music that we hear, common everyday music, some of it's actually more beautiful than we're used to hearing it with synthetics and things like that.
It is very cool.
So it's beautiful, and so the weather's going to be great. It's going to be a great Mother's Day, and we're looking forward to doing that. And we also are excited because the new issue of the Ocala magazine is out.
Let me see.
So it's in distribution
see the cover.
today.
Have I seen it yet?
You probably have not.
No, I have not.
It's a really unique and interesting cover, unlike anything we've ever done. So what you're seeing here is, this is shot inside of an industrial building, and it's a pile of dirty styrofoam. Right?
Wow.
There's a little baby. We had a casting call. We had a little baby casting call.
I can't see the bottom.
And
that's a baby. Okay.
And what she's got in front of her is a pile of resin. So let me explain so that this makes sense.
Is this an environmental message?
It is, yes. And so it's twofold. Number one, we all know the issue with waste, and we all know the issues with styrofoam and the fact that it does not decompose. And so anytime we use a styrofoam cup and we throw it out, that's it. It is there for 500, 600 years, who knows, because no one's around to ever check. But we know that it's there and it stays there. So if we think about all of the styrofoam, and I'm sure, the people that invented styrofoam thought, we have a really great thing. We have something that is cheap and it's lightweight and it's disposable and we can eat off of it and we can, put ice in it and keep our drinks cold. And in theory, styrofoam is an amazing product. However, I don't think what we considered was the fact that eventually that waste it piles up because it has literally nowhere to go. So right now in our world, what we're seeing is landfills that are just consumed with waste, mainly styrofoam, and even our oceans and a lot of our marine life, sadly, is being affected and killed by this waste of styrofoam. So Ocala is very fortunate, and I had the fortune of meeting a couple here in Ocala named Diane Sanders and Don Smith. And this couple owns a company called StyroRes. And you may have not heard of StyroRes. A lot of people have not. I had not heard of StyroRes, but in this May issue, you will be introduced to this company. And what they do is they have found a way, and it has taken them almost their whole lives to come up with a way, a safe way, an environmentally safe way, and also just safe for the people that work there, to convert this waste, this dirty styrofoam, into tiny little resin pellets that can then be sold and used to remake things such as your computer monitor, desk chairs, cars, Teslas.
That's amazing.
It is very amazing.
So the resin that the little baby is sitting with, does that represent how little it would look like if you took all that styrofoam behind the baby and shrunk it down?
Exactly. So, so this pile of styrofoam, and if you go to their factory, they have boxes, obviously boxes and boxes of the styrofoam, and it can be consolidated into. And I'll show you a picture. There's a great picture inside that really puts it into perspective.
Hold it up to the camera.
David Key, one of their employees, he has this block. Okay. He's standing in styrofoam, boxes and boxes of styrofoam condensed into what might be comparable to maybe 2 pizza boxes stacked on top of one another. And so the process is very unique.
And right here in Ocala.
Right in Ocala.
That's awesome.
I am talking about a global solution.
How'd you find out about them?
Well, one of our salespeople, her name is Kyle, she was diligently doing her job and networking and heard about this company and came back to the office and told Linda and I, you guys, there's a story here. There really is something here. And in my mind, of course I thought, okay, is it a recycling plant? I mean, how exactly does this thing work? So we went over and spent several hours talking to this couple, and from start to finish, they showed us the process.
Wow.
So they take this styrofoam, this dirty styrofoam that gets collected, and they run it through a machine that turns it into, and the way I described it in the magazine is almost, it takes it and it heats it up to a point where it becomes pliable, almost like taffy. So if you've ever gone and you've seen taffy being turned, kind of liquefies it to a point where it goes through the machine and it comes out almost like frozen yogurt would come out of a machine.
Oh, really?
And it collects in this metal form that shapes it into these blocks. And it becomes hard, very much like resin would be. That block is then taken over to a second machine and ground up the way that, like if you put pecans in a nut grinder and you grind it up and it just becomes little tiny pieces.
Right.
The same thing happens with this. So it becomes these little tiny pieces. They feel very much like stone. They're sharp and rigid in nature. Those little pieces are fed through another machine that reheats them back up to the point to where, once again, they're very pliable, and they come out into a very long string. And that string then gets chopped into very tiny little pieces. Smaller than a grain of rice. Right. And that resin then gets sold to companies that use resin to make products.
Wow.
So they are able, a local Ocala couple.
Ingenious.
Okay, this is a global solution. This is solving a world problem.
Absolutely.
And they're not in New York City and they're not in Los Angeles. They are here in Ocala.
And they're the inventors of the technology.
They are the inventors.
Wow.
And there's such a great backstory to this couple. I don't know if you want to take a break and then I can.
Okay.
Or I don't want to get it. It's a really great story.
I was so into the story, I wasn't even looking at my clock.
I know.
All right. This is fascinating stuff. All right, we'll
take
be right
a break
back.
and I have more to share.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. Friday will be bright and sunny and beautiful with low humidity. The high 74 to 78. Clear Friday night and quite comfortable. Low 51 in a few inland spots, 58 at the coast. Saturday, sunny and becoming a bit warmer. High 79 at the coast, 83 inland. For Sunday, mostly sunny and even warmer. High 84 to 88. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Are you in need of custom screen printing, embroidery, or promotional items? Then look no further and come visit the brand new Legacy Team Sales. LTS is conveniently located off 17th Street next to Armstrong Homes in beautiful Ocala. We offer the best prices and highest quality products for your company, team, school, or nonprofit. Whether looking for screen printed shirts, embroidered polos, or travel team uniforms, you'll be sure to find it at Legacy Team Sales. Come visit our new 27,000 square foot facility. Our friendly and knowledgeable sales staff will assist you in every part of your custom purchase. LTS carries the hottest brands in the industry like Under Armour, Russell, Mizuno, Asics, Badger Sports, Gildan, Pacific, Ogio, and many more. At LTS, screen printing embroidery is done in-house and we guarantee customer satisfaction. Stop by, give us a call, or check us out on the web at shoplts.com. Remember the name, LTS.
Here's what you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
80% of the super rich people in his study made a habit of associating with other success-minded individuals. They also consciously avoided toxic, negative people. It's nobody's business whether you're married, engaged, or starting a family because that's considered pregnancy discrimination. Dark chocolate contains more antioxidants, called flavonols, than any fruit or vegetable out there. Surprised?
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
Ocala's Got Talent, and the auditions are over, but the semifinals are this Saturday, May 7th at 7 p.m. right here at 301 in Citra at the Heart of Florida Youth Ranch. You can get tickets now right here at WOCA's lobby. They're just $10 for this Saturday, May 7th at 7 p.m. for the semifinals for Ocala's Got Talent. Don't waste time. Come right in today and get yours for Ocala's Got Talent.
Yeah, 18 minutes after 10 o'clock. Ocala does have talent. The story that you're telling us, Kelli, I mean, that is a talent too. I mean, to have the smarts to come up with an idea, to take something like styrofoam, which you're absolutely right. I mean, it is truly, it's an amazing material, but at the same time, there's so much of it, it could really be bad news.
Right, yeah.
So they figured out a way to make it good news.
Right, so Diane Sanders obviously is very passionate about the environment, and she saw a need, and she saw this need many, many years ago, and started to think of ways and did her research and looked into things that people had tried that failed, and started coming up with all of these ideas, and she never quite could find the missing link, I guess, to make this thing work. But I mean, she was driven. There was no stopping the woman. She was driven. And so she found her missing link not too long ago, which is another great story in and of itself. So Diane and Don, her boyfriend and also business partner, they dated in high school many, many years ago. And I don't want to give away their age, and I'm not really sure their age, but I would probably guess they're, 50s, 60s, somewhere in there, just comparing it to my parents. So
you didn't want to go there.
I don't want to go there because I don't know. I don't know. But
the point to mention their age is that they've been working at this a long time.
The point is, many years ago, they were in school together and they dated. And Diane's father was a pastor, and I'm sure.
So there's a love story here too.
Yes.
Okay.
A very hardcore father pastor.
This sounds like a movie.
Hey, let me tell you something. There is every likelihood of this being a movie like anything else. Like the Mop movie that we all saw, right, Joy?
Right,
she invented the mop. Great. Good for her. This is not just an invention. This is literally going to change our planet. I mean, it's going to change our planet. There's no doubt about it.
Can I ask a question? And maybe you don't know the answer, but... Okay, sometimes when you go to a park, you'll be sitting on a bench, and there'll be a little plaque that says, "This bench made from recycled milk cartons."
Okay, yeah.
Have you ever seen that?
Yeah.
Okay, so is that the same kind of a thing? Because the material that you're sitting on that bench is really solid, and you say, "Wow, this used to be a milk carton." I mean,
right.
So it's the same thing. These pellets then
These pellets become any product that is made from resin, like the Teslas that we see, these beautiful cars.
Really?
Yes.
They're made from
There
resin?
are components of those cars made from resin.
Wow.
They're computer monitors, plastics, armchairs,
Okay,
clothing.
this is another maybe dumb what do we make styrofoam from? Where does it come from?
Well, I can answer that question, although it's very scientific in nature. It is, and I'm going to read directly from here so I don't get this wrong. Styrofoam is made from polystyrene, a petroleum-based plastic. Its foundation ingredient, styrene,
Okay. So ultimately it comes
is a
from
human carcinogen. Right, so it actually... one of the biggest issues is because some of the chemicals used to create styrofoam can be hazardous.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted to make sure that in doing something, they weren't releasing all of these harmful chemicals
Okay,
into
right,
the air.
right,
So
right.
it was a process. And Diane and Don dated in high school. However, her father, being a pastor, said, no, this boy is bad news because he was a little rowdy
he
and
was bad
rebellious,
news, okay.
admittedly a little rowdy.
Did you meet him?
Meet who?
The guy.
Yeah, I met both these folks.
Okay.
Yeah.
He didn't hit on you, did he?
No.
All right, well,
Goodness gracious.
Well, he's not a bad guy then.
No, he was a bad guy in high school.
Oh, not anymore.
Now he's.
Oh, not anymore.
Listen, this man only has eyes for Diane.
I'm
trust me.
teasing.
But they dated in high school,
teasing.
and let me get to the story. It's so exciting, and I don't want to get cut off. So they met in high school. They dated. Dad said, you can't date this woman. She's my daughter, and you're a bad boy.
Wow.
And so they went on with their lives, and Don got married, and Diane got married, and had children, and went on with their lives. And they found themselves at the very same time in life, divorced, and found each other on Facebook. And reunited on Facebook. And long story short, the two of them are now back together,
Wow.
as in love with each other as they were in high school. Don said, like, all his life, no one compared to Diane. I hope his ex-wives aren't listening. But no one ever
Doesn't
compared
matter.
to,
They're
yeah,
ex.
whatever. No one ever compared to Diane. And the two are not only in love, but Don was the missing link. He listened
Oh,
to
he
Diane's
knew.
strategy. He bought into her passion for what they were doing. He is business-minded and he is ingenious. And the two of them together found the one component that was missing. And now together they
Do
have
we know
this
what that
company.
is, or is that a secret?
We
a
don't
trade
know.
secret?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's definitely
So
they know, and their lawyer may know.
The
But
question I would have, and it is simply this: if you take some fish oil tablets
okay,
and open them up and put them into a styrofoam cup, some fish oil has ethanol in it, I think.
Okay.
And it can actually eat through the cup.
and we're ingesting these fish oils. That doesn't sound.
Yeah, well, and
Okay.
that's the point that Dr. Lang likes
Dangerous.
to make. His doesn't do that. But I'm not trying to sell fish oil. I'm trying to ask that when something has ethanol in it, it'll eat through styrofoam. Does this process of making it into a Tesla? Because I would hate for my Tesla to have a hole in it just because somebody put a fish oil tablet on it. You know what I mean?
Well, I cannot tell you how Teslas are made. I wish I knew, and nor can I tell you from the time that these resin pellets are created and then sold to companies who then use resin. I don't know what process it goes through after that point. But that would be maybe a great question to ask either Diane or Don, because, like I say, Diane
right.
especially has been working on this for years and years, and I am sure that she has probably come across every.
I wonder what experiments
potential-
she did. I would love to know.
I don't know. I mean, I know that she's done.
She must have.
Her whole life and all of her money has been invested
That's
in
amazing.
making this dream come true,
But
and they have.
If I was going to guess what one experiment might have been, it might have been heat. She might have just said, okay, I can make it hot. I can make it shrink, because everybody knows you can put heat. Because as kids, you remember having that styrofoam cutter, that hot thing?
Yes.
Yes,
absolutely.
And again, ethanol will melt styrofoam, so she must have tried that. There must have been something.
I'm certain. Whatever they've done, they are so confident in it, of course, that they've created this company. And if you think about all the styrofoam in the world, obviously it's not going to end up in Ocala to be turned into resin. We need satellite styro-res locations all over the world. So another business proposal that Diane and Don have for people are if you want to be a licensed styro-res dealer, you can actually buy into being a dealer and set up, let's say you're somewhere in Arizona, you're in California, and you want to be able to use this technology that they've created and have your own dealership you can do that. So much like a franchise, but a little different than a franchise.
So they literally are wanting people to turn in their old styrofoam, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Is there something wrong, Joe?
I will tell you if there is.
Okay, so they're solving a problem. So the good news is there was going to come a point in time where when our children have children, the landfills were going to outnumber schools. I mean, so they've solved this problem. So we have a phone call.
Wow,
this is exciting. Thank you.
Good morning. You're on the air with Kelly.
Good morning. Yeah, what we do with our leftover little peanuts and all our styrofoam, we put it into a jar, and the jar has acetate in it.
Okay.
And the acetate totally melts styrofoam, and the end result is after you keep stuffing more in there and more, and it will not dissolve anymore. And that is the strongest plastic you've ever seen. And then we put it onto anything. It's like a glue. Mm-hmm. You can fix lawn chairs. You can do anything with the acetate that's melted the styrofoam. So we don't have to dump styrofoam into the dump. I just thought we'd let you know that.
Is that Don?
That's wonderful. That is wonderful. Who's calling?
This is Professor Gadget.
Jim. Okay. All right.
No, I knew it wasn't Don.
We knew you should have stuck around for something.
Wonderful. Yeah, I mean, there are other ways. I mean, people have found other ways of being able to dispose and reuse styrofoam. So this is not the first technology available to take styrofoam and be able to reuse it for another purpose, but this is the only thing like
I think it's
like
ingenious.
This,
I love this story, and I love the way you've told it too. I love the love story part of it too. I'm a romantic at heart.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think
Even though I don't look like it.
I think that it's amazing that how they met and he was the missing piece. So
I hear
so love
a
does
John
solve
Mellencamp
world
song.
problems.
There's a little ditty about Don and Diane.
There you go.
Right?
Perfect.
Can you hear it?
We have a call?
Good morning. Yes, you're on the air with Kelly.
Yes, good morning, everybody.
Hey, Hugh.
Kelly, I want to compliment you and your magazine for not only the wonderful contents and the quality of the contents, but I was in printing for over 30 years up in Milwaukee, printing magazines and school textbooks, and the quality of your magazine is right top shelf.
Thank you.
A beautiful glossy cover, and the photography is perfect, and it's just it's one heck of a looking great magazine. I want to just say great job.
Thank you.
The question I have is I couldn't find out is that printed here locally or in the state?
Yes, it is printed in Florida. So unfortunately for the quality of paper and work that we do and the quantity, there's no one in Ocala that is able to do that job for us. So we have to outsource. But yes, it's right here in Florida. So our turnaround time is very quick.
Top quality bond paper, high gloss. The cover is beautiful. The photography is excellent.
Thank you.
I looked at your magazine under the microscope, and it's perfect. It's perfect printing. And I compliment you and your magazine for whoever's doing that job. They couldn't do a better job.
Well, it's Hartley Press is who we use. There's an ad for Hartley Press in our May issue, so all of their information is there. And yes, we are very proud of the job that they do. And not only the product that we end up with, but their customer service is phenomenal. I mean, trust me, we have to call on these guys often for various reasons, and their customer service is unsurpassable, really. So thank you for that compliment. We surely appreciate that.
Well, I look forward to your magazine every month.
Thank you.
It's a wonderful thing for our community.
Thank you.
Really is. Really well said. Thank you.
We love those types of compliments. That's phenomenal.
Yeah, and the journalism is very good, too.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Well, we have other options. There are much cheaper options, obviously, but we believe in our product, and we want our clients to know that they're involved in the best product in Ocala. So if you want more information on StyroRes, you can go to styrorez.com. That's styrorez.com. Pick up the issue. There's a lot more information we weren't able to discuss. It's a phenomenal. I mean, it's world changing. It's going to change the game, and it's pretty phenomenal.
So another reason to be proud of Ocala.
Absolutely.
And proud of you because you brought it to our attention. Thank you, Kelly.
Thank you so much. Everybody have a great Mother's Day.
Yeah, and you too.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.
What makes you look so good? Why don't you love me like
Fox News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. The number of new jobs created in April hitting